Hello and welcome to another episode of Adventures in Publishing Land, the show that likes to get behind the publishing news and bring you the real stories, whatever that means. I'm Marco.
I'm Nadine.
And I'm Tarek.
And this week we were genuinely struggling to bring you some news because I think it's because of the summer, the heat wave. No one wants to report anything, but we have scraped together some stories. No, I think it'll be an interesting chat.
We're glad to hear we've managed to find some shite and put it together for you.
Let's get into the first one, which is actually sort of picking up on a story that we spoke about last time. So, because last time we spoke about the Michael Caine Odyssey audiobook, and we gave our own views on whether that was a good thing or not. But you know, it is but the first of many, it would appear, Nadine.
So many. So this story involves the late great Barbara Cartland. And those of you who may remember her, she was this romance writer and wore a lot of makeup, really bad wigs, and just seemed to lay on a chaise lounge dictating her novels to her assistant. But she wrote loads and loads of books. Anyway, Belinda Audio, who is an Australian audiobook producer, they have signed an exclusive deal with the Barbara Cartland estate to produce audiobooks for not just one, not just two, not just 300, but 700 plus of her titles. And what they will do, they will create a bespoke AI clone voice of Barbara Cartland. And they say it will only be used to introduce and conclude each audiobook, and that human narrators will still read the actual text. But that's what they say. But
it's a slippery slope, you think, is it?
I think it's a very, very, very slippery slope, because it's not dissimilar to what Spotify have recently done, where they've announced a deal with ElevenLabs to have a built-in tool that will allow self-published authors to create AI-narrated audiobooks and then publish them wherever they like. So it's similar and not quite similar to when we was talking about Michael Caine, because Michael Caine, I believe he's allowed his voice to be licensed to create the Odyssey, whereas this is for the entirety of Barbara Cartland's estate, which is 700 plus books. As you said, it is a slippery slope, because they say just to intro and outro, but what's to stop them just narrating the whole thing?
Yeah,
with her.
I mean, my first thought, I have to say, from reading this article, was I had no idea she wrote 723 books. I mean, she wrote 23 books in 1 year in 1976. I mean, that is insane. You know, if someone did that nowadays, can you imagine the AI accusations that would be flying?
Well, that would be the argument, wouldn't it? You'll say there's no way anyone could possibly write that many books, like in a calendar year. It has to be AI. Whereas I said she was there on her chaise lounge dictating her books. Suddenly the robber entered my window at night.
I've never actually read a Barbara Cartland book.
I think I must have read one when I was younger. Probably floating around in an aunt's bookshelf.
That's an impressive back catalogue.
It is. But they say, they declined to explain how the voice was actually built when I was asked by the bookseller. But, she died in 2000. And in addition to her 700 or 723 books, that published books, there's still 160 unpublished manuscripts they say was later released as the Pink Collection. And Belinda said that it's the chance to experiment creatively with AI voice, using it to bring a sense of Dame Barbara herself into the listening experience while continuing to work with world-class narrators. And then the estate said they framed it as access and rediscovery. But, first I find it creepy, because I said that before we start recording, it's not dissimilar to the BBC's Maestro series, where they have their Agatha Christie, call it a masterclass, and they've created an AI version of her. It's just, I find it quite
I would like to know how they make the voice, where they got the. I guess they've taken audio samples from interviews she's given, or
she's done loads. She's been around for a long. Well, she was around for a long time. There's loads of interviews with her, so I suppose it wouldn't be that hard to extract the sample. But that's neither here nor there, is it? Really?
I mean, I said it last week. I'll say it again. What is the point? What is the point? No one knows. I mean, when did she die? Sorry,
2000.
Yeah. So most people picking up her books today, will not have a clue what she sounds like. So what is the point in?
It's money, though, isn't it?
They could have an actress. They could have an actress pretending to be her, and it would have exactly the same effect. I just don't. It seems
there's
like
no point, is there?
I can't see any benefit to it.
We're talking about it.
We're talking about it because there are no other stories. I want to be quite clear about that. I would not be talking about this otherwise.
We need content.
But
this is why we're talking about it.
No, I don't think whatever. I think, will the audiobooks do well? Yes, probably, because Barbara Cartland books do well. Will they do well because they've got this gimmick on them? I don't think that'll boost it in any way whatsoever.
But that's exactly what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not about introducing her books to a new generation of readers. It is simply a gimmick. Because it's not as if, like some books, whether it's the actual physical copy or an audio book, you might have the author's note at the back of it. And that's the author's own words, giving whatever their opinion and about characters and stuff. And if you pick up the audio book, you'll be hearing them. So that's not a gimmick. And I think that's probably enhancing the read and the listening experience for readers. But I don't see how listening to an AI version of Barbara Cartland, just doing an intro.
Also, I don't think it's. I don't think it's measurable. I mean, they'll say, this has been a success. We've had 10,000 downloads of it, but I bet there aren't. Once this comes out, there probably won't be another way to download the audiobook. So, in which case, you have no idea if the AI is making a difference.
That's true. Does it take over? Is this the only version you can buy? Yeah.
So, I mean, I just think it's not. Honestly, I think we'll see a lot of these gimmicks in a short space of time, and then they'll go away because no one actually cares. Especially whether it's an author that has been dead for a quarter of a century, that no one knows what she sounded like in the first place. So why would someone under the age of 25 even care? They just wouldn't.
I mean, to be fair, though, I think we probably no one under the age of 25 would care about Barbara Cartland books in the first place. Barbara Cartland is obviously massive, but I think she's not. Well,
it's a very specific
I
time.
don't know who reads her books, but I can't imagine there'll be a specific market for them, and it just seems like a marketing thing for me. It's a marketing. It's a bit of a people are chatting about it, talking about it. It's a weird the framing of it before the end of the book. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine people are going to be rebuying it just to hear that. I guess if you're going to buy it for the first time, you probably would buy this version because it's got new stuff in it to have listened to as opposed to the old one. But the actual book is being read by, presumably, I don't know if they're re-recording the audiobook or if it's just slapping this on the front and the back of an existing.
Well, I don't know.
Nothing.
They said they'll still be working with world-class narrators, but why would you continue to do so if groups like Spotify are allowing self-published authors to have their entire book narrated by AI? And we always talk about protecting creatives, and we always talk about our own industry, but it extends beyond us.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the problem with AI generally, isn't it? But I think I don't believe they will use it for more than this because ultimately I think what is the point either? But on the Spotify thing is slightly different. That's a whole other kettle of fish because
that's entire books being done by
books being done by AI, which I'm not a fan of. I know it's more difficult for self-published authors to get narrators, and it costs money, and this is a cheap way of doing it. But honestly, and again, I don't know if this is just me. I don't know if it's a bubble, but I wouldn't choose to listen to it because, as I said last time, they're crap. If you actually listen to AI speaking for a while, it's terrible. I haven't listened to a book, but I have listened to AI generated speech on I've heard it on YouTube videos or reels or whatever, and it's crap. Now, okay, I'm sure they'll say, this is the cutting edge, this is the best, and you can't tell the difference. But I just don't believe that. I don't believe you can get the the right delivery of the tone and everything like that.
All right.
Now, maybe if you're a self-published author, you don't care because you're just opening up another market, and you are, even if you get 100 downloads, that's 100 downloads more than you would have got.
Yeah,
Maybe, but I still don't like it.
I agree with you, I think. And I think my when it comes to the Spotify story, of all these audiobooks being made, by AI for people who are self-pubbing, etc. I always do get a bit uncomfortable. I appreciate there's a cost involved if you're self-publishing it yourself and you have to pay someone to narrate your book, and it's expensive. And I feel bad saying that people shouldn't do that because it's money is tight, etc. We shouldn't be kind of demonizing people for not being able to afford to do it with a narrator. But I feel uncomfortable that this is the alternative which is being made available to them, which is this AI option, which does then put narrators out of a job, etc. And I don't think it does as good a job as a human narrator. I have to say I've not listened to an AI audiobook, to be fair, and I was just thinking what might be quite fun, depressing, awful to do would be maybe for the next episode I might make some clips of AI and non-AI audiobooks and see if you guys can get a difference.
That would be fun, but it won't happen. So
weren't we going to ask Tarek to listen to the Odyssey?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Real Michael Caine or AI Michael Caine.
But the other thing is, and I'm sorry if this comes across as, I don't know what the word is, but not very nice, I guess, which is, but, things cost money. If you want to do things in life, things cost money, or they cost effort, or they cost skill. You have to learn the skills, you have to put in the time. So yes, getting a narrator to narrate your audiobook might be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, I don't know what it is, but if you want to get it done properly, then save up the money and get it done, because then you will have a product that is miles better, and you will know that it is the best it can be. And you don't have an inherent right. It's like people that say, I want to write a book, so I'm using AI, and it's democratization of quotes writing to let me write a book with AI. No, it's not. It's a load of bollocks. You're not writing a book. You're putting a prompt into a machine, and it's spitting out garbage. Sorry, I'm in a bad mood today, but that's...
I don't disagree with Marco though. People go, there's no option. There are options. I've always said that. I'm pretty sure you could go to find like a drama class, get some drama students together and ask them to narrate your. But obviously, you pay them. Like, I think there are options available.
Yes,
to people.
I think sorry, go for it.
No, go on, Tarek.
I was going to say my problem with coming down with a firm opinion on this part of it is that I don't know what the cost of making an audiobook is compared to Spotify's version, and I don't know what the outcome. I mean, I can only imagine the outcome is worse, to be fair, but I don't know what the costs of it are.
Here's what the cost is. The cost, if you really want to make an audiobook, you've got a microphone on your computer and you can record it and you can read it out yourself. I know, but otherwise,
honest,
yes.
AI would probably do a better job of me than me.
Okay, that's fine. But then you get a better mic, or you, like Nadine's saying, go and get a drama student to read it out and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are
other options out there.
I think
and ultimately, like I say, you're not entitled to. I want to be a professional footballer, but I can't pay something to make that happen. You're not. Life isn't like that. So
no,
yeah, I agree. I know what you're saying, and I do agree with you. I just feel uncomfortable with saying to people you should not use this option because you cannot afford to do otherwise. You should do nothing. I feel it doesn't quite sit right with me.
But
I understand where you're coming from.
There are contingent of people who do want something for nothing.
Oh yes, yes.
And that is also a thing as well. Like, they don't know. Well, why should I pay?
The entitlement argument.
Yeah, there is a bit of entitlement there. But I don't feel that AI is the way to go.
There are other ways to raise money. If you genuinely don't have money to do something, you can do crowdfunding, you can do all sorts of different ways to get a narrator. Now, I'm sure someone did an audiobook recently, and it was $1,000 or something. So I'm not saying that's not, that is a lot of money to some people, and I mean, it's a lot of money to me. I don't know why I'm saying some people, but you know, it's money that is achievable through, you know, you would have to save, you'd have to make sacrifices, you'd maybe have to crowdfund, all of that sort of stuff. But you would have a product at the end of the day that you would genuinely be proud of.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Doesn't Amazon do an option? Because I remember when I self-published my first book, and I was looking into doing the audiobook version, and on Audible, I remember auditioning actors and listening to people read out the sample pages, and you have options in terms of how you can pay them, whether you pay them, I suppose, a lump sum per word, or whether they take a royalty split. So I think if people do their research, like there are viable options available to you, as opposed to just going to the straight, let me stick it in whatever AI software program and generating it for you.
I genuinely agree with you that a human doing it is the best option, because it's a proper artist doing a proper job. It'll be a better work than AI, and it's keeping the creative industry alive and put money in actors' pockets, and that's a good thing. My final 2 points on this would be one. Oh shit! I forgot what one of them was now. Okay, I can't remember. My final point on this is my depressing point, which I'll always come back to, which is I'm still not convinced that most people out there care if it's AI or not. Most listeners out there probably don't even have a clue who the narrator is on a book to begin with, don't know if it's AI or not. It's the author's name in the title, and they do not look at the narrator's name.
They do care about quality, though. They do care about bad narrators.
With that. Yeah, I agree with that. So if it's badly done, that's fair. Yeah, that's a fair point. But I think most folk, who cares? Is it
you know what?
Done.
I'll agree with you, because I've said it before. A number of times I've seen like online groups or whether on social media accounts talking about ghostwritten books, and the response is, "Oh, well, you know, this ghostwritten, so and so didn't even write it," and the response is, "I don't care."
Yeah,
a lot of them, they really don't.
You know what?
So
part of me is like, that's fair enough. If that is people's the view of the public, depressing as it may be, if that is what the message is, then fine. You know, it is the way it is, and I think the only way to get AI to get guardrails in place, etc., is for it to come down from the top. And I think fighting it on a micro level at this point will have no impact. I think
it's a slightly different argument, that though, because people do care. Like if you look at every survey, people do care, despite what you're saying. They don't care maybe to the extent of like looking at the narrator, but AI isn't liked, especially among the younger you go, the less liked AI is. If you look at all the surveys and stuff. Now, a lot of people maybe sort of what you could do is do what who is it that's done it? Is it Spotify? It seems too good for Spotify to have done, but some company has said that any AI music will earn zero money. So you can put AI music up if you want, but if it's AI, you're not getting anything.
How do they know if it's AI or not?
Because I suppose you probably have to declare it, and then if it is not declared, then you'll get kicked off or whatever, things like that. I think sometimes it's very obvious. I can't remember if it is Spotify. Like I say, I doubt it.
It seems weird.
Yeah.
I think what will be interesting though will be, you know, we like stats and metrics and things. When these books are adapted into audiobooks with the Barbara Cartland AI intro and outro, it'd be interesting to see the stats of how many people actually listen to the intro and outro, or just fast forward to chapter 1.
I rarely listen to if it's got an intro or author's note or something, because sometimes they spoil the whole book. There's times I listen to author's note and they give the ending. I was like,
what, in the intro?
Yeah, in the author's note they've added in a second edition. I'm sure there's a bit of Stephen King. There was definitely one novel, and I was like, well, no point in me listening to this book now. Yeah.
It's Tidal, not Spotify. Tidal.
Oh, okay.
That's fairly big, though. It's fairly big. Move from a big company.
You know,
I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't like it.
Anyway, tell us in the comments below that I am an entitled asshole and holding people back.
Can I just tell you now
work.
to your face?
You can just tell me that. It's nothing to do with what I've said. Just call me.
Say, can I just say, I'm very much enjoying Marco, Bad Mood Marco.
Well, let's stay on that theme, will we? Because we're going to talk about... we'll stay on people whining about stuff. We'll talk about
We'll all be
piracy.
on the same page here, I think. Yeah.
Piracy of books. So obviously it's been a problem for a long time, and obviously there are the AI implications of piracy, etc. But I'm not focusing on that for this story. There are obviously on the internet these repositories of pirated books that exist. I'm loath to even. I don't think I'm going to say the name. I'll link to the story. There's a site in particular that was recently taken down that had lots of pirated books, and people would go and download them for free, etc. And I think the site is already back up, so it shows you how difficult it is to stop these things.
Yeah.
But I think the interesting point, the point that will make Bad Mood Marco angry, is that. When it went down, there was a lot of online discourse that you said you saw, Nadine, that was sort of like, you're denying people without money access to books if you take things down like this, and all of this sort of stuff, which is frankly a load of bollocks. There are public libraries. There are lots of ways to get books for free and read them without using a site where authors get nothing from it. So you're literally stealing from these people's living. So, yeah.
Dana, the most annoying thing is they don't see accessing these sites and downloading these books as stealing from the author, because as far as they're concerned, we're making enough money, we shouldn't be complaining. So there's that thing. But then it was also the argument, which really pissed me off, was that even having access to a library was entitled, and it was only people, if you're in a position of privilege, that you would have access to a library. I don't know.
Well, you may not have a local library, but you could. There are online libraries as well.
There's Libby.
Libby,
I mean, it's never been easier to read books for free in a legal way. You know,
but that's true.
Way.
You may have your local, let's say your local council library, like near me. So we got the library provided by the council. You've got the community libraries that are literally like in a community centre. You've got people who have taken over a telephone box, and they've started putting books in there as a library
where
screen.
you can just pick one
there
up.
There were so many options and so many opportunities for you to get books, that to use the argument, the fact that if you can buy a book, that means you're privileged. If you can walk to the library, that means you're privileged. Therefore, I'm entitled to access these pirate sites and download books, which is quite frankly, it's bang out of order. It is a load of bollocks. Yeah. It's just, you want, number 4 saying about there's some people who want something for nothing, and they're the ones who feel entitled, as opposed to us being entitled.
Absolutely.
No, I agree with that completely. I think when it comes to books, you've got libraries, you've got Libby, you've got which can also give you audiobooks and magazines, etc. for free. There's so many ways of getting books. You can pretty much wait a month or two. You'll get the book for 99p on the Kindle store. Like there's cheap ways, if not free ways to.
There's lots of free
nowadays.
books on Kindle.
There's loads of free books. All the classics are free.
Yeah.
There's no, and you don't need to have a Kindle. You can read it on your phone or your computer. Like I've no time for anyone, and it's not just books. I've no time for anyone making an argument that because something has a price, then and if I can't afford to pay that price, I should get it for free. No, that's not fair. You can get all of this stuff, whether it's books, music, films, you can get it for pretty much free, if not a very low price. And the gymnastics people do in their heads to get to.
What I find funny is that you do get people that will be like totally against. I have seen authors being totally against book piracy, but then will download TV shows and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and,
it's the same thing at the end of the day, isn't
it? You're doing mental gymnastics, as you say there, to try and justify that sort of thing. I know it's a big corporation that you're against. It's not a single author you're taking money from, etc., etc., etc. But the principle is the same.
Yeah, and streaming services, and we can talk about how expensive it is. You want to subscribe to every streaming service. Yes, that's going to cost you a fortune, and that is wrong, and that is a pain in the arse. But again, you can be smart about it.
There's an argument to say things are too expensive.
Yes.
And there's an argument to say you're not entitled to things for free when
but also,
both things can be true. Yeah.
But also as well, right? The quality of books that you're getting on, because before we went online, I thought I'm going to go and check and see if my books are on there, and all of them are on there. But and it wasn't me. I didn't check the actual manuscript that was on there. But another author I know, they checked. And it wasn't even the final version of their book that has been uploaded onto the site. It's a proof copy. So somehow, I don't know how. This is the thing. I don't know how they get it. They've got a digital proof of the book, and they've managed to upload it.
I mean, somebody must be. I guess someone has to actually physically be emailing it in or uploading it.
Or maybe they get it from NetGalley.
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, if you get a NetGalley book, does that come just as a standard?
I have no
idea.
idea.
Like with
I
don't know.
I think. It's a digital copy of it. I don't know if there's some sort of watermark on it in some way.
I don't know.
Probably
fair, I don't know.
There's not a watermark, but sometimes you get them, and it's a digital proof, and sometimes the the alignment's all completely out of whack. Like chapter 1 starts immediately, or chapter 2 starts immediately where the full stop. Chapter 1.
I guess that's the.
So it's not a. I don't know.
And that's the danger, is that if it is NetGalley or similar sites that are used to legally share early proofs with bloggers and reviewers, etc. If that is a source of stuff getting stolen, ultimately it might end up with these sites getting stopped, and that's a blow for actual authors again trying to share their work with people who.
I mean, I get there's another way you could become a book blogger and get free books that way. But I mean,
people don't want to do the work, Mark. They don't want to do the work, and they don't want to spend the money. And they just feel like in their head they're sticking it to the man, but it's like,
you're
sticking it to the wrong man. That's the truth.
You're sticking it to the wrong man. Like,
the starving
I need to eat. You need to eat.
I don't know. Like I do. Look, maybe I'm being too grumpy about all of this in the sense that yes, obviously.
No, be grumpy, be angry.
No, but just in this, I do get that there is, people. I'm just thinking that we often argue we want more people to read and all of that sort of stuff, and that is true. And if you're, struggling and all of that sort of stuff, a book can be a bit of escapism, and it can take you out and all of that, and all of that is true. But like I say, I just think there are other ways that you can get access to this stuff for free,
But that's
without
exactly
paying a penny.
The argument that times are tight, books are a wonderful thing, etc. Yes, and all of that would hold more sway in my mind if libraries didn't exist. There is a free way, as you say, of reading books, and just do the proper way of doing it. No excuse.
The other argument it's so completely ridiculous is the ones who say, well, I only download the books to see if once I start reading it, I like it enough to then go and buy the physical copy. Mate, you're not going to go and, after you've read it, go and take out your $14.99 or your 99p and go and buy the physical copy of the book.
All the time with legitimate TV shows and games.
I
play the first
again. It's the mental
treating it like a
gymnastics
trailer.
People put themselves through to try and justify it. But I mean, and also of course on Kindle, and like you say, you don't need to own a Kindle, but you get previews of books on there that you can read to do exactly that, to sample it and decide if you want to.
You can go to a bookshop and pick up and read the first chapter in a bookshop. You can.
Anyway, yes.
Borrow a book from your neighbour. Sorry.
Yes, exactly.
Although I'll be honest, is borrowing a book from your friend exact same as piracy? I don't get a cut of that. No, no more sharing books. A ban on that, please.
No more sharing books. Well, let's stay in that row of selfish authors and talk about authors being paid more or not
Yes.
more, but being paid more regularly.
If you ever wanted a
perhaps.
reason to rob an author, listen to this crap. No, so is genuinely a good thing. So Canongate, which I think we were chatting before, is one of the larger indie publishing houses, and they've announced that they are going to begin paying royalties on a quarterly basis. In a move which has been described as revolutionary. I don't know who's calling it that. It's someone's given that. It's in quotes. So I don't know if it's Canongate or if it's someone else. But anyway, most, and this is a good thing because most.
Yeah, maybe you should explain how
out.
it normally works.
Yeah. So normally most publishing houses will pay you royalties kind of every 6 months, and it's or a year, and it's a long time for royalties to be paid out, and
to get that check
does make
for
it
2
difficult.
pence.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes it difficult to, I guess, if you're an author, to kind of budget and to have an idea of how much is coming in, and there's no and you're getting lump sums every so often, and you're having to budget, etc. Whereas Canongate are saying we're going to start doing it every 3 months. You get a royalty payout over however much is built up in that 3 month window, and so that is a good thing. And I think more publishers should move to that kind of area. Some of the comments below in the Bookseller article, which flag up other publishers do similar. I know Amazon, for instance, pay on a monthly basis. So there's no reason why I don't think publishers couldn't do it quicker than every 6 months. But ultimately, if this is the first step towards larger publishing houses paying more regularly royalties to the writers, that is a good thing. So,
yeah, because often, one of the arguments, and it's a fair argument, is that writing is a difficult thing for people that aren't already privileged to do because it doesn't give a reliable income. No. So you can't plan around it. So you have to have other jobs, and then it's very difficult, etc., which is all true. So something that can offer more regular payment, more certainty, all of that sort of stuff is obviously a good thing. But my worry is that I don't think this will be copied by many publishing houses. I think.
No. I think I'm thinking one of my publishers. I think I get paid annually if I receive a royalty, and another one I'm sure it's every 6 months. But then it's so sporadic because obviously royalties depend on sales. If you sell nothing, you're not getting anything.
And you totally lose track of where it's coming, and then you get an email, I presume, being like, "Oh, here's your royalty."
Or you get the royalty statement, and you. All I do, I look at it, and I'm like, all I need to know if it's not just going to end 0-0 in the cash they're going to give you. But it's a good thing because it's not. I mean, there's not many. I can't think many businesses where they will pay you like on an annual or 6 monthly basis. No. I remember freelancing once. I remember doing a case for a law firm. I was doing a 3-month trial, and they really tried it. They said, could they pay me in an instalment? I was like, I didn't do the trial in installments. It's like, why on earth would you pay me in installments? But I was like, it's not the norm, isn't it? The way publishing operates, whether it's financially or just in terms of contracts and just business overall, it's not the norm.
Even advances, I think, and you two can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I think advances are paid in sort of tranches. And advances, of course, there's a lot of talk about advances you're getting lower advances in a lot of places because they're saying that they'll pay out royalties, but they won't pay out those royalties for long periods. So then it does become very difficult if you're trying to make writing a way to earn a living, or at least earn part of your living. It's completely unpredictable. So
the advance,
anything like this is good.
Yeah, the advance thing I get, it'll be the same. You get a portion when you sign, then you get another portion when you deliver, and then you get the remaining once it's published. But if, let's say, for example, you get your sign in advance, but then for whatever reason, either you're late delivering the book, then that portion's going to be delayed, or like if I use myself as an example, the paperback of The Shadow Carver was supposed to have come out last week, I think it was. Yeah, it's supposed to come out last week. We pushed it back to January. Right. So
okay.
instead of me getting my advance, that portion of my advance last week
Well,
or this week,
that's a good 6 months.
Yeah, that's a good 6
And
months.
that's just a publishing house decision that you have no control over.
Yeah. I mean, we discussed it, but the advantage that we discussed it. Other authors, they may not get any involvement in that discussion, and the decision's just made. So there's no perfect, unless you're just being paid 7 figures off the bounce. You'll take the split.
That's fine.
However it goes. Yeah.
You could take take another 6 months for that final million. It's all right. It's okay.
I don't mind. But I don't think there's no perfect unless you know you're selling loads every single month and you're getting paid monthly. I don't think there's no perfect system. But this is better than waiting a year or 6 months for your money.
Yeah. No, well, let's hope we see more publishers following it, but we have our doubts. Let's put it that way. But let's go into the bit of the podcast, the cheery bit of the podcast. I'll try not to be grumpy this bit.
This is fun.
It is, of course, Stranger Than Fiction. And what have you got for us this week?
Okay, I have a former guard walked out of a bank with bags of cash wearing his old uniform. So, Kwabena Kissy,
Nice.
a former security guard, defrauded a branch of Santander in Brixton. So this happened in July 2022, but he only recently got sentenced. So he used to work, I don't know if it's G4S he used to work for. Yeah, he used to work for G4S, which is a security company. And you normally see them with their armoured vans, delivering cash to the banks. So he left, but still kept his old uniform. He then puts the uniform on one day, walks into Santander in Brixton, tells them that he's there to collect the money. They then hand over £117,200 to Kwabena. He then walks out. I'm assuming just gets in the car, not in a truck, and goes off. It's only when they realise he hasn't come back for the second half of the money that they realise, hold on a second, something is very, very, very wrong here.
So there was, okay, interesting.
Yeah, so they had the money legit to go to the legit security guard, but no, Kwabena put on his old uniform, walked into Santander, said, I'm here for the money, and they just handed over 117 grand to him, and he walked out.
I mean, how did he not think he was going to get caught, though? Like, it would have been obvious that he'd done that.
So, it's like, do you not do any checks to make sure that the person who's coming in is actually the person they're supposed to be?
But
like,
it's that old trick, isn't it, that of confidence, like the people that, you carry a ladder and you say, I'm just here to do look at the roof, and people don't even, before they can question it, you walk past them.
So he walked in, he got his 100, and I would have made sure I went back for the second box.
I was going to say, that was, what an idiot.
Yeah. I was
left money on the table there.
You left another 117 grand waiting to be picked up. So anyway, the staff only realised they'd been swindled when the real security guard arrived for the cash collection. And then the guy fled to Ghana, where he lived for 4 years. I don't know why he came back. Maybe he wanted to get some more cash. But he lived there in Ghana for 4 years. Then he came back to the UK, and that's when he was arrested. And he pleaded guilty to fraud by false representation.
He's had a good 4 years, though.
Yeah.
He only got 40 months. Literally. That was my client. I've been like, you know what? Just plead guilty. Take the credit. He's done all
as long as you spend the money first, right? Because if you don't spend the money,
risk
you have to
reward
give it back.
Analysis there that they have to go through.
I have to say those guys always crack me up when you see them like going into like banks and stuff, because they have like the suit and then this like helmet with a visor on. But I'm just like, what happens if I go for any other part of your body? Like, do they get like stabbed in the chest?
Yeah, I've seen them with.
Do they? I've seen them. Oh, maybe they do. Okay, fair enough. Because I was like, I had in my head I'd get stabbed in the chest, and they're like, my Achilles heel. How did you know not to go for the face?
Come out of the knees. That's what you would
exactly.
do.
It's like,
but you know what? The brave. I do admire like sometimes like the confidence of people, as you said, to just walk in there brazenly like that. As you said, the equivalent of like, I've got a ladder, I'm here to fix the roof, and really they're not. They're here to like rob you blind. I had a client once, and they'd rob. I don't know if I told this story before. They'd robbed the transit van, so it's the G4S van. So they got all the money, but normally they're in the box, and the box has dye in them. So if you force them open, the dye will explode. So my client, he has the box, forces it open. Obviously, dye goes everywhere. And I'm going to boast myself here because to this day, I don't know how it happened, but he gets arrested and they bring him in. He's covered in dye because they literally catch him at the scene trying to wash the dye off the banknotes, the blue dye. So he's arrested, spends the weekend in the police cell. I'm there Monday morning at court. He wants a bail application. I'm like, you're not getting bail. Like, you're literally not caught red-handed. You're caught blue-handed with the blue paint on your hand, washing the cash. You are not getting out on bail. Nadine, I want a bail app. I say, fine. I do the bail application. Does this man not? They grant him bail. And I'm like, to this day, I'm always like, but you caught him washing the notes, the dye off the notes. But me, I was a good lawyer that day. So yeah.
Does the dye?
Stranger things then happen.
Does the dye go over all of the notes? Like, I'm just thinking, could you wear like a plastic suit as you broke into the thing? So dye goes on the plastic bag. I'll presumably go on some of the notes, but does it like? I'm just wondering how much of it.
The majority of the notes must be
I don't. Yeah, there must be some that are untouched, but I know that dye. It doesn't come. That's the problem with it. You just can't go and jump in the shower with a bottle of Imperial leather and like wash it off. It takes a while to come. Like, it stains you for a while. But I don't know if you're going to walk in there with a pair of marigolds and a hazmat suit.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Could you wear a hazmat suit as you open
it? And also, what could you see? You have this bag. It's full of cash, and you know, if you unzip it, you could trigger this dye. You know, like cut to the bottom of it or something. Like, I feel there's ways to bypass this. I feel like you probably get away with that. I think.
This
is why it's stranger than fiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is why.
Exactly. It's already spurred a lot of ideas. It's good.
I like it.
It's
good.
Like
it's a good one.
But I said before, this is why I always like doing fraud cases. Like, I could, in a sense, like, kind of admire the confidence of you to create like an elaborate fraud and then carry it, because it's a confidence trick, isn't it? That's what they call it.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you walk in there with your old. I'm like, and I'm there thinking, well, is the suit even in date? Like, how old is this suit? It might be like 3 years.
I guess if he knew the folk
like
behind
rebranded.
the counter, maybe he was like, maybe they were like, oh, it's Jimmy, you know.
I know, but that, I think, is a human thing, isn't it? You see someone in a suit at the time you're expecting them to come in. They look roughly like they should. So you probably your mind will, none of the alerts will go off in your head.
On.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, if you walked into, I mean, there's so many stories of, I don't know why they would want to, people who have pretended to be solicitors and barristers, and they've gone there, and they've gone into court and they've been practicing for years. And it's not hard to get the wig and a gown and a collar.
There's people that pretend to be ambulance people and they're not. They buy old ambulances and then go to I don't know why you would do that.
Dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
My favourite one though is the sign language guy. The guy who pretended to know how to sign language and was doing it on
that's
stage
right.
with was it like Mandela or something? Or it was like proper big famous folk, and he's on stage and he's just doing gibberish. He's making total gibberish, and he did it for years. And presumably, eventually, enough people were like, "This guy's not signing anything. He's just moving his hands around," and he was caught. Oh, it's brilliant.
But he got to go to a lot of things, so there you go.
The beauty of these stories.
What a fun life. Yeah, I know, that's true.
That's the beauty of these stories, though, isn't it? Because if you put it to I'm writing a proposal, you put it in there, your agent's like, "What? No, no,
exactly.
This isn't we're not going to have someone pretending to do sign language and someone wearing the old security suit in robbing a bank, yeah. But I'm interested in what you're doing for 4 years and why you came back, because I just would not come. Yeah.
Maybe tried something that he had to return, get out of the country.
You wanted the second box.
Yeah, maybe he remembered
there
was the second
Woke up
box.
one morning, damn it.
Maybe it was as simple as that he came back hoping that he could just do it again to get more money. I don't know. But,
yeah.
But
it worked one.
So
have you tried that, Marco? Are you happier?
No. I'm in such a grumpy mood that I can't really think of a topic for our end of podcast chat. I was trying to think of something around the World Cup because I know Tarek loves sport so much. But
how can we not talk about the leader of the free world calling up
the red card,
the president of FIFA to overturn? You couldn't make that shit up, but obviously, that's what he did.
Exactly. No, it did not help them. It did not help. In fact, I think it had the exact opposite effect.
Can I just say, I don't know what our American viewers and listeners are going to think, but I thoroughly enjoyed Belgium beating USA 4-1. It was karma. It was poetry. It was perfect.
But we still love you, so please keep listening.
Oh yeah, we still love you. Give us a like.
Yes. So I think we will just wrap it up there. But of course, you can catch us on our own podcasts, Page One, or The Conversation with Nadine Matheson, or any other of our shows on the STET Podcast Network. There's a few shows on there. You can get the schedule every week if I remember to post it on a Monday, and you can see what's coming up. But there's lots and lots of content there that you can tune into, and we will be back in maybe a couple of weeks, maybe slightly longer. I can't remember. There's holidays coming up, so it may drift a week or two. But maybe I'll be in a good mood by then. You know what I'm going to do now to cheer myself up this evening? I'm going to go and watch Supergirl. That'll really cheer me up according to the reviews.
Oh my god!
But we'll catch you next time.